This is your boy King Eric the Great from Off the Cuff Radio. And I wanted to do this video here because it had me thinking of a lot of things based off where the culture has shifted. But do you guys think that the beef between 50 Cent and Rick Ross was the start of fakeness being accepted within the culture? Now we already know that there was a lot of fakeness going on. A lot of people didn't really live their raps. A lot of people didn't really do what they say on record. But this situation was kind of different. Because if you really go back to 2009, which was almost 10 years ago, 50 was going at this dude's neck. I'm talking about diss records, cartoons. He had paperwork, pictures of proof of Rick Ross being a corrections officer, not really living what he said, stealing Freeway Ricky Ross's name. Took his baby mama shopping. Had a video of his other baby mom being a smut. Took pictures with his kids. I mean, 50 was just going for Rick Ross's juggler. But somehow, some way, 50 would end up being the loser. My question is, how did this happen? Because could it be that Def Jam had too much of an investment in the Rick Ross brand? Because 50 cost them millions of dollars by destroying Murder Inc. And they won't about to let Rick Ross do his. They won't about to let Rick Ross go through the fire. Could it be that Rick Ross also played it smart, that he focused more on developing his music and less on the beef? Because they was going back and forth, but Ross's diss records wasn't hitting at all. And if you really look at Deeper Than Rap versus Before I Self-Destruct, Deeper Than Rap was a better album. Let's be clear about that. 50 had the better diss records, he had the better responses, but musically as a whole, Ross one had it by a landslide because that Deeper Than Rap album was raw. He knew how to pick the right beats. He stepped his flow up. His back was against the wall, and he put out a great album. And that pretty much saved his career, whereas 50 kind of regressed with Before I Self-Destruct and so on. And the only reason why he stayed afloat is because of his controversial antics. So the question remains, did this beef or this feud cause this dynamic shift within the culture? Because it all pinpoints from that, because now it's okay to be a rat. It's okay to be a snitch. It's okay for your background to not be what it is, what you rapping about. It's okay to have a ghostwriter. I mean, if you really look at it, it's always been this way, but this feud here pretty much stamped that. And Ross ended up having one of the biggest runs in the 2010s. Which is crazy, because if this was in the late 80s or even the 90s, Ross would have been done. So, hit me up on this and let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that the Rick Ross 50 Cent beef was the start of fakeness being accepted within the culture? This is King Eric the Great. Subscribe to the channel, Off the Cuff Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Guillotine2018 for all latest information on news, culture, and politics. And check us out every Friday night at 9 p.m. 6 Pacific, 8 Central Time. This is King Eric the Great signing out. And peace.